Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome to the Marketing Cloud Implementation Series session. This is an event co-hosted by the Marketing Champions and the MC Learning Camp. This series wouldn't be possible without the efforts of a number of people in the community, directly or indirectly. We thank you all to everyone who have supported and who have helped make this happen. And I also thank the co-hosts of the series, Sharath and Murali. If you are attending this session for the first time, we already had a couple of sessions in the previous weeks. This is a list of all the sessions that were conducted earlier. And you can find the recording of all these sessions in the YouTube channel. The link I'm going to share shortly in the chat. And these are the sessions that were conducted in the previous weeks. And today's session is by Vishal, and it is going to be on GitHub and the cloud pages, and how to parse JSON, and how to do the dynamic email verification. And so here are the 3 use cases that Vishal is going to go through. And we also have a couple of sessions that are lined up in the upcoming weeks. The next 29th of June, we have a session on dynamic sender profile, how to set them using the personalization strings and using the AMP script. That's by Surya. And the next session, which is on 6th of July, it's going to be on how to claim the coupon codes using AMP script and how to get a list of all email sends using SSJS. It's by Drishti. And we also have a multiple number of sessions that are in line. We are working hard behind the scenes to make sure we are getting the content that is worthy for you, that is valuable for you. So here is the Slack channel if you haven't already joined. MC Learning Camp, that's in slack.com. And here's the Twitter handle, MC Learning Camp. So following this will help you get notified of all the events that are scheduled and any changes in the events, sessions, or all the updates you can get from this Twitter handle and also from the Slack channel. And before we get started, I would like to go through a couple of logistics. Session is going to be recorded, and this recording will be posted on the YouTube channel, Trailblazing Together. I will post the link of the playlist for this series. And if you have any questions during the session, please post them in the chat box and we will answer them at the end of the session. And if you have any other questions after the session, if you are watching the recording and if you have any questions, you are welcome to post those in the Slack channel, which is Implementation Series 2022. And we would also love to hear your feedback and any comments that you have. Please post them on the Slack channels, Slack workspace, MC Learning Camp, or on Twitter using the hashtag MC Learning Camp. And with that, I will turn it over to Surya. Vishal. Yeah. Please take it over, Vishal.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, JB. So hello, everyone. Let me present screen. So first, I would be going through the presentation and I would be explaining, I will just give the high-level glimpses of what we are going to cover today. And then then we can directly jump into the practical sessions. Okay. So just I will switch to demonstration mode. So as JB told, we are going to cover these 3 topics today. That is working with GitHub and cloud pages using Ajax for dynamic form validation and parse external JSON using SSJS. Okay. Yeah, and just a short description, info about myself. So myself, Vishal Kumar CV. I have been working on SFMC since 5 years, and I have all 4 SFMC certifications. And then, okay, to start with the first topic, working with GitHub and cloud pages. Okay. So before going to this topic, I want to get into this topic, why we need to connect our cloud pages with GitHub. Means what is the reason behind anybody who is working on SFMC want to connect their GitHub with cloud pages. Okay. The reason being, if anybody who has already worked on SFMC, they would be knowing that the pain of assume that let's take an example of this sample cloud page. Okay. I'll leave it open. So just as of now, as you can see, it is just having just a simple text called hello world and test33. And if I want to make any changes to this, the code here, just instead of 33, I want to make 44. And if when I publish this and click on publish, so here it says, come on, I think I just missed this, 44 and publish. So here it shows that the code has been published. So when I click publish, and sometimes it is based on the server's availability or the latency, the code gets changed very fast. So as of now, this account has very less data, and so the whatever changes we are making, it gets published very soon. But when you are in actual production, this account, and we are working on multiple cloud pages, the changes when you make and get it saved, it does not reflect soon. Sometimes it may take up to 30 seconds, and sometimes it may even take up to 2 to 3 minutes. So when you are developing the code, you lose many minutes just to make, even if there is a simple change, the publish process gets too much of time. So to avoid or to overcome this process in the development phase, so we are using it, we can use this approach. Okay, so just I will show the high level process what we are doing here, and then I will show how to do it in detail. So this is our cloud page. Okay, this is our SFMC cloud page, and this is the GitHub code resource, and this is our Visual Studio Code. So what we are doing is as a first step, we should create a repository in the GitHub, and then under the repository we need to create one JavaScript file, a simple file, and this file we have to pull dynamically to our SFMC cloud page, and then this and then we will connect this GitHub to our local Visual Studio Code. So what happens is, so we make the changes in our local system, by saving any changes in our local system, automatically this will be pushed to GitHub, and from the GitHub automatically the code gets updated in the Salesforce Marketing Cloud. So this is how this is what I'm going to demonstrate to you now. Okay, so as I said, this is a 3-step process. Let's follow these steps. So the first step is we need to create a repository in the GitHub. So let's go to GitHub. So this is my username, and this is the GitHub, and make sure that whatever the repository you create, that is of a private repository, so that the code, as you know, that any code which you develop for your client or your account, that should not be visible to public people. So you create a public repository, so all your code is safe. And then under this is a repository, private repository. Under this is a simple JavaScript file. So, and this has just one line of code as of now. Okay, so just output hello world. So now let's see. Okay, this is ready. Now the step 1 is ready. I have created a repository and the file is ready. Next, we need to generate a token in the GitHub. So how to do this? You can just click this link. There is a detailed article by Suzanne. So this is an article created by Suzanne. So here you can just follow the steps. I will just show you the main steps how to generate. So here she has given the details. So we need to go to our username, click on settings, and under settings, we need to go to this developer settings here. And then we need to click on personalized tokens and click on generate new token. And then we need to give some reason, like for what purpose we are going to use this. And then just we need to select, there are multiple options, but we need to select only the repository and click on generate token. When we click that, it will generate a token. Okay, so already generated the token, but still I will just show you in the platform how to navigate here. So just duplicate the tab. So under your username, you can click on settings here, under username settings. And then you need to scroll all the way down and go to this developer settings. And then here you will have personal access tokens. And then here you need to click on generate new token. It will reconfirm your credentials. So once you give, just you need to give the reason, like as FMC purpose or whatever. the reason. And here, if you want to have an expiration date, you can give it, else you can click no expiration. And the only main important access you need to give is for this repository. So that's it. Then if you click on generate token, it will generate a token, but I have already done that. Okay, so that is the first step. So once you have done all this, the second step is you need to create a cloud page in Web Studio with a desired name. Now, let me do it. Yeah, I will create a new one itself. So now let's go back to Web Studio. Now let's create a new landing page. So as we want to output the code and all, so we will be creating a landing page. So let's take Trailblazer demo and dynamic cloud page. Okay, now this has every new landing page is created. It has some default code. I will just remove everything. Okay, and then here we need to paste a code which is available here. Okay, let me see. So we have created a desired cloud page. So here we can go to the same article where, yeah, in the same article created by Suzanne. Here you will get two codes. Okay, there are two parts of the code. One code is to get the connect your cloud GitHub and your cloud page, and the second cloud is to output your code. So just by combining these two things, instead of just I have copied this in a PDF document, I will be copying from here. Okay. Now we need to paste our code in the newly created cloud page. Okay, it's gone. Okay, let me do it from here. Okay, I'll paste it here. So if you see, the only when you create your cloud page, even from your GitHub, the only four things you need to change are this one. So the first one will be your username. If you see, this is the username of my GitHub account. So this will be the username. And the second, so this will be your generated access token in the which you generate in the previous step. And the third one will be the repository name. So this is the repository name. And fourth one will be your actual JavaScript file. So this is the cloud CP, cloud page or 01.js. This is the JavaScript file. Okay. So now this is the only thing. The rest of the code remains same as it is given in the article, as well as what I have done is in my presentation at my last slide. So there is a first link of my equip document where I have placed all this, my entire the code which I am going to use for this session. Okay, this everything, all the code has been placed in a quick document, and it will be available in the presentation last slide. Okay, now just I am saving this and publish. Okay, now this is done. Now see, if I click on this publish link, see, it is showing hello world, but nowhere in my code I have written the hello world. So what it is doing is it is going to my user and my repository and this particular page. So it is going here. So this hello world is picking from the GitHub. Okay. This now we have completed the two step out of this. We have connected the GitHub with the cloud page. So these two connections are done. So, but however, if you want to make changes, you may have to go click on edit in the GitHub page and hello world and good morning. We need to make the changes and we need to click on commit, like commit to give some reason and save changes. So once you change in the GitHub, then yeah, automatically this, if you just refresh, it will automatically pick the code from there. But even this changing the code in the GitHub is a tedious task, right? So to overcome this, always a developer always prefers to use an IDE, that is an integrated development environment, or a tool like this Visual Studio Code. Okay, so now let's connect our Visual Studio Code up in my local machine to this GitHub account. Okay? So I have installed. Take my time to open. Yeah. So close this. Let me remove and show you. Close folder. Okay. Now I have the freshly installed Visual Studio Code tool. Now the first thing we need to do is we need to connect our this Visual Studio Code to the GitHub account. So how you can do is, so you can just here, I can click on this and you need to click on sign in. Here the Visual Studio Code will give you many options. So out of that, we need to select GitHub. So when you click on GitHub, it will open a browser. Means it will ask you to log in if you are not logged in. As I have already logged into the GitHub, it will just ask a pop-up allow to permission. So I will just choose Visual Studio Code. So now it will take the open authentication from the browser and it will connect my your GitHub account to the Visual Studio Code. So now you can see that already. Now this Visual Studio Code, this tool and the GitHub got connected, but still only the accounts are connected, but still I want to bring in this repository, that is dynamic cloud page. So how you can do is, you must click on Control-Shift-N-P. So basically this is a command editor for this Visual Studio Code, and then you need to click on git and clone. What this does is, as you know, anyone working on GitHub, it will just copy a repository which is there in the GitHub to your local machine for editing. And from local machine, it will always push and pull. Push is like sending from your local machine to GitHub online, and pulling is retrieving from GitHub to your local machine. Now I am cloning. Okay, so when I click on clone, it will ask permission to access GitHub. Again, it will need to click on allow, and again you need to give permission. So now it will fetch all your repositories in your account from your user. What are all the repositories you having? It will pull. Now out of my repositories dynamic cloud page. I want to fetch. So that is here, dynamic cloud page. So now when I select this, it will ask where in your local system you want to store it. Go on GitHub. Anywhere you can store anywhere in your desired local system. I will select here. So what it will do, it will copy all the files. So in your, if you are having any files, it will copy. But if you are having only one file, that will copy to your local system. So I can show you. It is under GitHub. So see, these are all the files which are there in the GitHub. It will just copy, and this is my actual Dyna Cloud Page 01. Okay. Now disconnect. It is cloning now. So once it is cloned, it will be, and it is still cloning.
In the meantime, this gets completed. I would like to add a note here. So there are multiple ways to a given use case for providing the solution. For any of the use cases that we have been taking and demonstrating here, there may be one or multiple solutions to do that. And what we are showing in the session is just one way to do that. And for this specific use case, when we want to have the dynamic content populated in the cloud page without publishing them every time, this is also one of the different approaches. We have seen Elliot use the Dropbox link, and he would be updating all the content in the Dropbox file. And we have also seen another speaker use the Google Drive. So all the data will be in Google file, and the Drive link will be posted in the cloud page, which will get refreshed. And this is another way that we can use the GitHub, where For people who are very much used to working with Visual Studio Editor and want to leverage all the features in the Visual Studio Editor, this is one way. And GitHub has its own benefits. With GitHub, you can maintain repositories, you can maintain multiple versions and organize your code and everything. So this is one of the approach. And also want to add another note here that these sessions will be helpful to you if you go after the session, if you go and do your homework. So not just following the session here, but after the session as well. As we shall refer to one of the resource here, Suzanne's blog post. So if you go and try to implement that, try to create your own GitHub repository and then link it with the cloud page. If you follow the steps, then it will be more beneficial to you. It will be added value. And we will be sharing all the resources and the links that we have discussed in this session. So we would love for you to take maximum benefit from this session. And also why we have this session especially is we want to cover the basics of the GitHub, how to get started with the GitHub starting with creating the account, and also with the Visual Studio, how to create the Visual Studio including the settings, and then we shall also briefly touched upon how to create the cloud page as well. So we do not have a session which was done on how to create the cloud page. So this session also included that. So one of the intention of including a detailed session on this is to cover all these things from the scratch. Thank you, Vishal. Please go ahead.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for your input, JB. Yeah, as you said, like, yeah, even Google Drive is also one of the way. But I want to show even that one advantage of using this. So as we are means we no need to buy at all the as you know, there are multiple AMP script functions like lookup. Also, using this GitHub, so everything, the functions, everything we can pre-populate just by using. So that is also one of the advantage. So yeah, as you can see, okay, now what I will do is, so I will update the code from here. Hello world, good morning. And just again, one more I will add is like, now means even I can append. So it will give the current date and timestamp. Now I will. So now from here, the making code changes is very easy. So as you have the flexibility and even the code syntax also highlighting is also there. So you are able to easily identify if any coding syntax mistake. So once you make any changes, and then here is your resource handling, means the source code handling. Just you need to give some comment name like commit number 5, and I will just click in this arrow mark. So that's it. So once you do that, here just you need to keep watching this. It may take up to 5 seconds. Once it is done, this scrolling is done. It will be instantly all this code first it will get from here. It will be go to the, okay, I will show you in the code GitHub itself. So as of now, it is still good morning. So if I refresh from my local system, the code changes will come to this GitHub. It is yet to come. For the initial time, it is taking time. Yeah, generally it will not take. Let's see, try again. Hello. And then I will say this. Commit 6, and I will push 1, 2, 3, 5. Yeah, it also depends on the network latency. Let's see, it's taking 10 seconds. Yeah, it's done. So now if I refresh, the code will be pushed here. So from here, then now if you just refresh your cloud page, yeah, now you have the updated code. So like this. So now onwards, if you connect like this, then onwards, no need to log into your GitHub itself. Directly, whenever, every day when you start to work, you can just open your Visual Studio Code and start to code from here itself. So you can make the changes here and save it. It will automatically pushed. So let's take script and just hello Trailblazer. I can save it and then commit 8 will save. Like this, you can build your code, and then let's wait. Just wait until this scrolling is complete so that it will push the code to the GitHub. Let's see if it has come. It's still pushing. Yep, it's done, and if we refresh, yeah, it will come. So like this, you can make use of this GitHub and Visual Studio Code. No, okay, now let's go to the next topic. So that is a dynamic verification of an email address from the using a Ajax. So before we go to this one, just I will show the output, means what we are going to achieve now. So this is the second topic. Assume that there are in many use cases you have a form registration, means you have a form wherein the user will type their email address like this, and then you need to find in your database extension. See, this is one of the registration data extension I have. In my data extension, I have already an email address, cvishalkumar@yahoo.com, already registered. Okay, so now if I am trying to register with a new email address, it will show as available, means I am able to register with this new email address because this email address is not yet registered. But if I try to give the same email address, it will go behind the scenes. It will do an Ajax call. It will go to our SFMC and check whether in this particular data extension, whether my email address is there or not. If it is there, then it will immediately display this that email address is already registered, so that it will be like a client side validation itself. But behind the scenes, we are doing a server side validation, means behind the scenes we are coming to our cloud SFMC, inside SFMC in a data extension, and checking whether it has been present or not. Okay, now let's try to do check implement that. Let's go here. So this is this one. So even I have code. I have given the code for the first one is output file. So this first file I have just placed in a local file. I will be using that. Yep. So this is the form code which I have given in the presentation. This one, a pip document. You can take this document code from here. This is just a local code. So what I am doing is in here is, but first let me show the output. Give test@gmail.com and just do a tab out. It tells it is available. Okay. Now, but if I give the actual email address which is there in the data extension, it says that it is already registered. So this is how it works. But behind the scenes, let me show how it actually works. First, in order to analyze this, you can open your browser under the network tab and just refresh. So it will just, when the page loads, it shows like this. So now when we use, what I have done is, when I tab out, means there is a function called on blur. So when I tab out from this, behind the scenes, you can see there is a call being made to the cloud page. So I can show it again. If I make it test@gmail.com, see, you keep observing, there is one more record will come here when I tab out. So when I tab, see, there is one more record. So we are making a call, means we are making a call to our cloud page, and we are passing the email address. So as you can see, initially before it was my email address, whatever it is typed here, that I am sending to my cloud page. Okay, and in the response from my cloud page, I am retrieving whether it is there or not. If it is there, it will return me as Y. If it is not there, it will return me as yes, sorry, no, like that. So this is how behind the scenes it works. So now let's dive into the code. Let me try one here. I try to get it from the GitHub page. You can also get the code from the script document. Okay, I will take it from here. Okay, so this is, I'm showing the code of this page, that is this, the client page from where we are making the Ajax call. Okay. So as you know, just this is the title of the document, and I'm just loading the Ajax libraries. Okay, from the we can get it from CDN, and then this is the main Ajax function. What we are going to do it here. Okay, so before, okay, let me give an example itself. Before, so some of you might be new to Ajax. So let's see what is an Ajax. Okay, I will show in the, as you know, this W3 schools. I will show an example from this W3 schools. Firstly, to tell about Ajax, and Ajax in full form is asynchronous JavaScript and XML. In simple words, we use this Ajax technologies in many ways. So to give a very daily used example is this google.com. So as everybody use this or google.com, right? So see, whenever we type, example, if we type Washington, okay, whenever we are typing here, before even we type we complete the word, okay, we get some suggested words. Okay, so this is how the Ajax means, without the page is being refreshed, the data is being pulled from the backend. So this is one example, and the most initial use of this Ajax was this our Google Maps. So if you have web developers, and if you have ever wondered, so if you see that if you whenever you zoom in or zoom out from your while using Google Maps, the data gets sent and retrieved back. So you can check that under, you can open the network tab and then reload. So see, as of now, see, it is here. So, but if you zoom in and zoom out, behind the scenes, many data will be retrieved and sent. Okay, so this is how the Ajax, the main purpose of Ajax technology is sending and retrieving the data without the page refresh. See, the page is not being refreshed. Only the content within the page get refreshed. So this is how, this is what the basic idea of Ajax. Okay. Similar to this, in this example, what is doing is, there is a, let me duplicate this tab. There is a file called demo test.txt. Okay, so here we'll show it. See, there is this file called demo text. So in this file, there is a text. There is two tags, that is jQuery and Ajax is fun, and this is some text paragraph. So they have placed this file in a separate location. Okay, and what they are doing is on button.click. So when we click this button, they are retrieving the content of this text and placing in this division 1. So this division 1 is here. So here, okay, that is behind this let Ajax change. So exactly in this place, when I click on this button, the data which is there here, these two tags, the header 2 tag and paragraph 1 tag will be replaced. Now let's see. Now when I click on this, see, when I upon clicking this button, the data which was there in this Ajax, that page came, but the page did not refresh. So this is the basic idea of Ajax. So using the same idea, so what I am doing is, there is a function called blur. Means a blur function is Okay, let me show it in the demo also. W3 schools. So whenever if anybody wants to learn any user UI or UX technology in web, you can always use this useful set, and you can blur. Okay, check blur. Here you can get easy understand easy with easy example. So here it will take, say, enter your name. I will type name and I will tab. I will click, either I can click here, I can click tab in my keyboard. So when I click tab, see the input page has lot focus. So this pop-up came because they have written like whenever a blur events occur for this input field, an alert should come. So like this is the idea. So on this same idea, what I have done is, so on blur means whenever we type an email address in this field. Yeah, this field. Upon typing an email address and tabbing out, a blur event should happen. Means on that event happens. So on that, what I am doing is I am taking whatever it is typed in the text box and storing in a variable called email. This is JavaScript variable, and the value which is typed in this text box is retrieved and stored in a local JavaScript variable, and then I am sending in a form data. This form data will be used here. So if you see this form data, this Ajax function make a get method call and send this form data. Inside this form data, we have the email address, whatever we have typed, and where it send, it will send to this particular cloud page. Okay. So basically, this is instead of using landing page, I have used a code resource. So if somebody doesn't know like code resource, I will just to tell you quickly like the difference between the landing page and the difference between the code resource. So when you have to use landing page and when you have to use code resource is, so whenever you are outputting anything, means you have an HTML code which is being displayed. So then you must use landing page. But code resource, you have limited things. So just to show you like test. So these are the built-in file types where for which you can use code resource. So if you are using only if you're using only AMP script, JavaScript and SSJS, then you must go with the JavaScript. Or if you're using only CSS, styling sheet, then it's CSS. Then similarly, JSON, RSS, text, and XML. So in that cases, you need to use the code resource. So here in my case, I have used a code resource because here I am not displaying anything. What it does is it will take, let the code open. Yeah, it will just take the incoming field, incoming value means whatever I type here. And when I click on tab, it will make a get call to my cloud page. So that it will call here. And in my code, I am going to this data extension. Okay, let's say I will give the exact this one, Cvich Kumar @gmail.com. Okay. Even I will show in the console. When I click on tab, okay, it should be yopmail.com. Yeah, it is not there. So what is it is doing? This is the call it is making. So you can see this. It is making a call to my cloud page. This D3 and 3. Okay, this D3 and 3, and it is sending email is equal to whatever we have typed here. So the value will come here. So email is here. Okay, it is under @e. So I am finding whether in the email address field. Now we'll go to this data extension. Go here. Yeah, this is the data extension, and we will find this field. So this is the field. So it will find. So this is also the value which is there. So when it matches, so if it is found, not empty, if I'm checking whether the value is there in this data action. If it is not there, then I am outputting, means I am sending the value as yes. So you can see in the response, Y is coming. So that's the reason it is displaying. So here, based on my logic, so it will make an API call to my cloud page, and the response will be stored here. And based on the response, I'm checking whether the response includes Y. If it is having, then that means that email address is there in my data extension. Then I am just there is a hidden tag called, hidden span tag called response. In this, for this, that will be here. Actually, there is a tag here in this place. In this place, I am just displaying in the red color, email already been registered. If else, means that means it will come no. If else, I am displaying in the green color as available. So this is how, based on the response coming from our cloud page code resource. Okay. And also, to tell one more difference between the landing page and code resource. I think for developers, it might not impact, but if you are a consultant and or an architect, in both ways, and if you are suggesting to client, so if note that in SFMC there is a concept called super messages, means and every impression of a cloud page will be cost, like how in if you recharge your mobile, you will for every call there your currency will get cut. Similarly, in SFMC we have a concept called super messages. So every cloud impression, every time a cloud page loads, and one cloud impression consumes one super messages, like that. So but if you use code resources, it will not consume any super messages. It will be like a free of cost. Okay, so that is also one of the reason, if you're not using any HTML to output, only for processing, if you are using, you may go with this code resource. Okay, that's one thing. So yeah, then this is a normal HTML, just one text field for email address and one text field for mobile number. Okay, so now this, I think we completed this concept. So this is just one example of dynamically checking in the background, means going to the data extension and displaying available or not. Similarly, you may come up with many different use cases, like based on the email address, you may have. So let's take this example only. Based on if the user types the email address, you want to display them their subscriber key or some other than their favorite products. Assume that they have some favorite product field here. You may pick that and display here. Your favorite product is something like that. So without refreshing the page, you can go to data extension, pick the desired value and display in your local or any external page. So note that, say, I'm running in a local system. So that means this is an external, it can be any external application or external website. From any external website, you can make an Ajax call to your SFMC and get the detail. Okay, so now this completes the second topic. Now let's see, let's go to the third topic. Okay, just to okay, just first I will show what we are trying to achieve, and let me show you. So in this example, think that there is an external application. Okay, let's take this an example only. So our NTO retail, retail.com. This is one of the demo website used by Salesforce. Okay. Statements and software. Okay, think that like this is a e-commerce website where I want to purchase. There are a bulk order I'm placing. Means I am placing order for this particular shoes, three of these particular shoes, and I am buying these shoes, eight items, and this shoe 4. So like this, whenever I'm placing a bulk order from this website, this is an external website, and then you want to send an confirmation email and to the customers with the link what are all the items they have purchased in their order. Okay, so let's take an example here. So in this example, like think that the data is coming like this. They are placing the order ID. In this order ID, there will be only one order ID for multiple products. One order ID will be there, and in one order there will be 1, 2, 3, 4 products are there. Okay, and every product will have its ID, its quantity, and its description. Okay, and you want to do, it will be coming in a JSON format to SFMC. Think that whenever an order is placed at the last step from the website, when they click on some confirm order or place order, a JSON in this format will be sent to SFMC, and you need to consume this JSON in your cloud page and display this output. Okay, let's try to achieve this. First, I will show the output and then we'll show you the code. Go to where here is my code. It's not copying. Try to copy from here. It will not be ordered. Let me see if I have it anywhere. No, maybe text. Okay, I'll take this now. Yep, finally. So see, even now I will just make use of the same cloud page which I created initially. I will place this here and save. And this will get commit to let it publish. Okay, until it get published, I will open the my Postman. The Postman application will act as an external application. That will be in our case an external website. Okay, now from my external website, I'm going to post the data. Okay? So that the URL will be our cloud page URL. So this Trailblazer demo. So this cloud page, I am placing the order ID. Order ID can be anything, just I will place 007. Okay, and in my body, the order data will be coming in a JSON format. Okay, that. Let's take the sample JSON. Yeah, beautiful. Yep. So now we have the JSON body ready and we have the order ready. So now let's see if it got published. Yep, it got published. So when I click on send, what I'm doing is a JSON is being sent from an external application to our cloud page. Okay. So now you can click on preview. So now this is how you can display the incoming JSON in a proper format or desired format. So now let's see how what we are going to in this code. Okay, first initially I'm loading the SFMC SFMC platform core library. Okay, and then so as we are checking this is coming in a post method, then I'm checking that if request.method is equal to post, then only process, because in post method the data is coming in a secured way. Okay, and then there is a function called get post data. Okay, so as you can see, the data from an external website can be come in two ways. One is in this query parameter, they call it as you can see in params also. See, this order is equal to 0.1. whatever the data which comes along with the URL, we call it as a query parameter, okay? Or query string parameters. So if the data comes in query string parameter, then we use the function called get query string parameter. So you can see this order ID. I am getting the whatever is coming, and I am placing order ID is equal to whatever data is coming here. That you can see here. Order ID is equal to 007. So whatever comes as a query string parameter, that to retrieve those data, we need to use the function query string parameter. But the data which is coming within the body, so from within the body, it is being posted to the body of the source. It is coming to the body of our cloud landing page. So then we need to use the function get post data. So then you have this post data, but here it is coming in a JSON format. It is not a plain text or any XML. So it is a JSON. So whenever you have a JSON, you need to parse it. So that is parse JSON. Now this order info will have the parsed version of this product. So example, like your parse data dot product ID 0 of product ID will give you this one. So like that, it will be like a kind of array. So like that, to loop through your array, you need to just put a for loop. Okay. So before for loop, I am just displaying the headers. So you can see the product ID, quantity, description, and preview. These are the headers before looping my for loop, because this will be fixed. Okay. So first I'm displaying the headers. Then based on the data coming here. So see, I suppose if the data is not having this one, so I will remove this. So there are only 3 products. So now when I click on post, based on the data, our codes will get adjusted, the data. Okay. So like that. So now it will for loop order info dot length. So based on the JSON object's length, this for loop will iterate. Then for each order info, so we are considered as each as an item, means this much section is an one item 1, this is item 2. So like this, I am placing an as item, and under each item, I am displaying three values. Okay, means I'm not displaying here. So I'm setting the value, means from the item of product 0. So it will take first the product ID, this one. It will take the value of this product ID and store in a local AMP script variable. So this is a JavaScript. So it's from SSJS. From SSJS, I'm storing into a AMP script variable, and I am displaying it here. See, note that I am displaying it before closing the loop, because if we display it after closing the loop, it would always display the last product, only the last product. So as in when it loops, it will retrieve each product's product ID, product quantity, and description. That is product ID, product quantity, and description. Okay, that is how it will display here. And finally, to display the image, there is one. This depends on how your website is organized. To give more details, that if you see our NTO website, so like this one. So if you open any one product, see, it is organized. If I just replace instead of 0, 1, the next product's detail page will open. Okay, if I instead of 1, if I give 2, so this is basically a product ID. Based on product ID, every page has been configured, and not only page. If you open the image source, so this is the image. Okay, if I instead of 2, if I give 3, it will open the next product's image. So like that, it is in organized. So that's the reason, using our product ID, what we can do is we can have a constant URL, and wherever that our product ID changes, at that place I have given the variable, so that based on the respective product, the ID gets changed here. And that's how we are able to achieve, like, for every product, as the ID is unique, that respective ID's image will get displayed here. Okay. This is how you can parse the JSON of an incoming JSON coming in a body. Even if it is JSON comes in a what you call URL parameter, you can use the normal query string parameter. But if it is coming from the body, you need to use get post data, and then it will be a JSON object, and then you need to parse it, and then you can use it for further processing. So this is how. So this complete entire code to parse and the sample JSON response, everything has been placed in this WIP document. Okay. And just, I think just last 2 minutes, I would like to, there are some useful links I have given at the last slide. So yeah, for the first one is script document, and there is recently there is an app, a publicly available application called MC Snippets, wherein so those who there has been long term that there is for SFMC there is no sandbox to learn how to work on AMP script. Okay, but you can make use of this online tool free of cost. Okay, just I can show you can, but this one trick is there. So you just need to go to JSON and click on paste sample JSON, and then that's it. Then you are ready to you are able to use any AMP script code. So just to give simple example, if you want to use how the now function works, you can output on cat now and just run. So see, it works. So like this, you can just make use of if you want to learn either, like as you might be knowing, if you learn this is the best AMP script guide is the best way to learn AMP script. So if you want to learn like format date, so before you had to have an SFMC login to learn it, but you can just copy the code from here. See, this is having an example of all the different formats. You can directly copy from the code here and go to your MC snippets and paste the complete code and then run it. So now you have the output. So now without using any SFMC servers, you make use of this very useful tool to learn AMP script. Okay, and then yeah, there is one more tool called ampscript.io, wherein if you have coded very lengthy code, so let's take an example of our code itself. And if you are not sure if it is having any syntax, you can place it here. Okay, it is an SSJS. Okay, leave it. Yeah, just we can make use of this tool. Like if there is any syntax error, it will show like set that is equal to high. If there are no syntax errors, it will show like this. Okay. Yeah, it will show the variable has not been set like this. It will give the syntax error. So yep, and there is a SFMC videos, means those who want to, like those who are lazy and want to learn by watching videos instead of going through the articles, you can go through this. There are the SFMC videos under this. Okay, and then finally, there is those who want to learn about SFMC APIs. They can make use of this publicly available Postman collection. Okay, this the link. So just they can fork this by forking the collection. It has all the SFMC APIs which you want to learn. Okay, I think there will be upcoming many sessions on this, how to use APIs and all. But yeah, just wanted to give these details. Yeah. Okay, that's it from mine. Thank you.
That's very detailed and easily understandable way you presented. Very much thank you for your session, Vishal. This is very much helpful. Yep. And to add to the resource list, so the Postman collection, it has all the code. So if you want to try sending them manipulating some data within the marketing cloud, you can do that from Postman using the functions that are available in that collection. You don't need to write the functions from scratch for all the activities that you want to do. That code is readily available in that collection. You can just install it, import it into your Postman, login, and then you can right away use that code and use it for your specific marketing cloud instance. And I would also like to add another useful resource, which is recently released in the book by Greg and Jason, the SFMC marketing automation tools. So it is also not to miss. It's worth reading. You can purchase that book on Amazon and also get in touch with Greg for if you want to get the virtual copy or any other resources or any other questions on that. And as we mentioned before, to solve any use case, there may be multiple ways. So for the last use case that Vishal demoed, it can GTL, if you have heard about it, it's the guided template language. It's used to parse the JSON. I have seen clients using GTL as well, but there are some downsides to using GTL. If you are familiar with GTL and you're comfortable with that, you can use it. But if somebody new and want to try GTL, It has a steep learning curve. You have to learn from scratch GTL. The syntax is different, the functions are different, and it can only be used in the AMP script. So it's not worth learning if you are a beginner. So the alternative would be to use the SSJS. So Vishal has provided all the code for all the used cases, and I love the approach that he shared everything in the Quip document. We will be sharing the recording soon, and if you want to rewatch and if you want to go through and implement that in your instance, we would highly encourage you to do that and get the benefit out of this session. I'll be sharing the recording soon and the Quip document shortly after this session. And we are over time today, so would like to take the questions on the Slack channel. If you have any questions, please post them in the Slack channel, Implementation Series 2022. So we would be happy to answer your questions there. And we have the session scheduled for the next 2 weeks, and the other weeks as well. We're going to schedule shortly. Please follow the group, the Phoenix user group, to get notified of all the upcoming activities. And the Twitter handle and the Slack channel are also good ways to get notified. And we thank everyone for joining today's session. And thanks, Vishal. Have a good one, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.